Israel's November joint naval drill at the UAE and Bahrain is clear message to Iran. The US, Bahrain, the UAE and Israel launched a joint drill in the Red Sea November 11th. The Jewish state has conducted drills with the United Arab Emirates, UAE, before, but it is the first time the Israel's Navy takes part in any kind of public military cooperation with Bahrain. Emirati authorities in Abu Dhabi had been advancing a covert anti-Iranian military alliance with Tel Aviv for decades, but such has only come to surface after the Abraham Accords. Earlier last month, UAE authorities attended air exercises in Israel. The US, Germany and France also took part. This joint naval drill took place just over a year after UAE and Bahrain normalized ties with Israel, in the context of the aforementioned agreements. Morocco and Sudan both recognized Israel the same year, too, in exchange for political favors. The former got ex-President Donald Trump's support for its claim over Western Sahara, while the latter was removed from the US list of state sponsors of terror. Trump in fact gave the Abraham Accords agreement a central place in its foreign policy, something which Joe Biden has inherited. Since February, Israel and Iran have been engaging in what some analysts describe as a kind of shadow war, with vessels being under attack. This drill is thus meant to send a message to Tehran. There is a new oil diplomacy and there are new oil wars today. The Iran-backed Houthi rebels from Yemen, for example, have also been targeting oil shipments. At this time tensions in general are on the rise in the Red Sea and also in North Africa in general. The Red Sea is of course a conduit for a large part of the world's oil trade, and both the UAE and Bahrain take part in the conflict against the Houthi rebels. So, the location choice for the joint naval exercise in early November is quite significant in itself. Vice Admiral Brad Cooper, commander of the U.S. Fifth Fleet, which led the drill, stated that maritime collaboration helps safeguard freedom of navigation and the free flow of trade, which are essential to regional security and stability. He also stated, "We have an interest in Bab el-Mandab, which affects the freedom of movement of the State of Israel, and we need to push back Iran's presence, and there are other countries that are also partners to this threat," referring to the strait that connects the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden.